everybody, welcome to Advantage 1 RV. My name is Josh the RV Nerd, and this is like a 38-foot Holiday Rambler Ambassador diesel pusher here, 110,000 miles. It's got a couple years on it. She's had some rounds. I think the best way I can describe this one is that it is functional, but certainly not flawless. And my goal with this video is not to start things off being scary or derogatory. It's to set a proper expectation. The message that I have for you in this one, and I'm going to go back to it 100 times, is that it is functional and not flawless. All of the major stuff, like your slides, your generator, your engine, your brakes, all that stuff is in working order. But is it cosmetically flawless? No. Has it had some history? There's been some, well, the fancy way of saying is water penetration, but it's had a leak or two in the past. I don't detect anything current. So I think that something like this would make just an epic NASCAR party bus. I mean, holy crap, man. You want to get in here, all the buddies, hoop and holler, have a good time. This would just be awesome for something like that. If you're on a limited budget, but you want a big coach, you want to get away, this is something that, you know, as long as you stay on top of your upkeep from here, it will continue to remain functional. Or if you're the type of person who's handy and you're looking for like a winter project piece, something that maybe you can do a fix it and flip it kind of job, I think this would be a fantastic coach. She ain't no Hakuna Matata though. That's a problem-free philosophy. It's not dead. It just ain't perfect. Kind of like most of us. Now, if I see something major like this, I'm going to point that out where it had a leak in the past. And it's interesting. I got a feeling somebody went through and just scrubbed the dickens out of all the cabinetry in this, because there's several cabinets in it where like the glossy face has almost been like rubbed off of it, which I think is very interesting. Over here's your controls for your Allison transmission, your leveling system, and this does have like a, you know, air ride, air brake kind of system. What I do love though, man, this is spacious. And you know, I tell you what, it's easy to look at this and judge it now. If you look at this through the lens of time, if you kind of roll back the clock like Marvel Universe style, when this thing was brand new, it was a top shelf coach. This was one of those things that when you rolled in with it, someone went, oh, they own the company, you know? All kinds of window coverage on this, which means awesome visibility while you're driving too. That is a 4-door gas electric fridge freezer. You didn't tend to see residential fridges in something like this. As far as I know, I will tell you this, I've not personally fired up every appliance or anything like that, but as far as I know, all major appliances, all major systems, everything I've touched appears to be in good working order. Now, as we look through the kitchen and all the storage, I want to kind of point out that the ceiling in this is about 6.5 foot tall. Most coaches in today's market are 7 foot. That being said, I think 6.5 foot tall is enough. I'm walking around with this thing, no problem. I'm not banging my head on stuff or anything like that. Oops, you know what? We're not exactly level, so I wanted you to make sure you got to see inside this convection microwave oven. And judging by the face panel, that is also in working order here. Overall, I really like the total, the kitchen setup on this. When you open everything up, there's actually a lot more going on than you might have realized. And another classic feature that a lot of today's coaches have since left behind, which I got kind of mixed emotions about. A lot of today's coaches just no longer have that full overhead super slide storage there. Now, something to point out here, some positive. Like, there's a couple little spots. I showed you that spot above the door where it had a little leak area. But, like, I haven't found bad flooring. I haven't found something that was neglected for so long that, like, it walked down the entire trailer and created, like, a widespread bad spot or anything like that. I think the RV always has received, generally speaking, the maintenance that it needed to remain functional. I just don't know that it's always, you know, been dressed up for the big ball. You know, it hasn't always been Cinderella getting that pretty dress from her fairy godmother. Now, we're basically doing a 180 flip from where we were just looking right here. When I say 6.5 foot ceiling, sometimes that means, uh-oh, I'm going to have headroom in the shower. But with that just monster full-size skylight that we're looking at up here, I don't think that's going to be the case whatsoever. Big walk-through middle bath here, of course, has, you know, your sliding privacy doors on either side. And again, there's a couple spots. I don't exactly know why, but the doors of this RV just haven't aged as well as the rest of the coach for some odd reason. I'm eyeballing it. I think that's an RV queen. I think that's a short queen. I'm not entirely sure. You see the big side stands within that bed slide, though. You could pop those out and you could upfit this into a king situation. Now, since we're a diesel pusher, we're actually like almost right above the engine where we're standing right now. It'll be under that rear closet. And what they've done a very good job of in here, I think, is a lot of bedroom storage space. And I want to clarify something here, because sometimes I make little statements that maybe have unintended implications. Like I said, oh, this would be a cool little NASCAR weekend or something like that. When this coach was originally built, it was made for full-timers. It was made for seasonal snowbird, sunbird kind of running around. There's nothing that says it couldn't still absolutely be qualified to do something like that. Like, for instance, you're just seeing a vacuum stored in there, but that is actually a combo washer-dryer prepped cabinet closet, whatever you want to call it in there. The whole rear wall is nothing but space. If you want to hit the road and live a life of adventure, nothing says you couldn't do that. Again, the RV's in perfectly functional shape right now. I think as long as you stay on top of things, it'll remain that way. But when you're not at a destination, when you're traveling, you will maintain, thankfully, use of the bed. When those double super slides close up, you actually have a surprisingly spacious walkthrough area here. I think the extra wide body on this one really coming into play in that factor. Now, I'm going to get you up close and personal on a couple of those tires, because I think that is something, especially maybe a first-timer looking for a more budget-accessible coach. You know, this one might kind of flag your potential criteria list. You may not realize you want to really check the tires on a used coach. Most of the tires on this are a date code 721, meaning they have a birthday of July 2021. They were replaced right before this came in. And remember that generator I was talking about? Listen. It is running right now. When that says quiet diesel, it's not kidding. Now, obviously, when you start putting that under a load, it's gonna wake up and chug a little bit more for you. For the most part, the tires look good. I noticed a couple mismatched. I'm guessing the folks for whom we are selling this, before they brought it in, said, okay, one or two of those tires look like a death trap. We can't do that to somebody. And they did what needed to be done, and they took care of the tires that needed to be replaced. I can respect that. I'm kind of the same way. I'll tell you, my little car, not all four of the tires match. People get really weirded out by that, and I understand that, but that doesn't mean that there's necessarily anything to get concerned about here. Now, for the most part, most of these outside baggage doors were doing their job pretty well. This big, thick, pass-through-the-belly diesel pusher signature series compartment right here, it looks like the bracket on the strut needs to be replaced, but that is just such a massive load of space in there. I wanted to make sure that you were able to get in there and see that. I think at some point the awning has been replaced, because under both awning arms there's a couple, looks like almost set screws right there from maybe what the original awning was. Excuse me, pardon me. Pardon me. Oh my Lord. I'm gonna die. Pardon me. This is one of the older tires, and it looks okay. I don't see a date code on it, but sometimes the date code is printed on the inside of the tire, and it's hard for me to get to it, you know. The batteries seem to be strong. Actually, this is my second time visiting this RV. The very first time I swung through just to get some pictures because I ran out of time that day. And I came back the next day, today, at the time of this filming, and I accidentally left one of the lights on and stuff, and it didn't die out. Everything started up. The chassis fired right up for me. The generator fired right up for me. Give you a look back here, and again, just kind of let you hear it. It's another good example of the fact that this isn't always in every area necessarily the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but any major component, any major system is in good working order. And I tell you what shocked me is on almost every single motorhome I've ever seen, one of the two rear corners is like busted up where somebody backed into a corner or something because it was hard to see. I didn't see any of that on here. I was actually very impressed, very surprised with all of that. The exterior condition overall, I know we've been seeing like a lot of baggage compartment stuff. Let me back up a little bit. The exterior, actually, if I'm going to rate it against the interior, I think the exterior looks better and is in better shape than the interior myself. It is a long coach too. And I tell you, you've got to have at least like a 10,000 pound tow rating on something like this. She is big, 38 to 40 feet, something like that. But again, the exterior looks pretty good. There's actually still a lot of sheen and shine left on the skin. I noticed like that front slide awning right there. It's a little torn at the base on the front. That's not terribly uncommon, but overall, again, it's functional, you know? So let me know what you think about this one, guys. Like I said, I think if you're looking for, hey, I'm gonna take it to the races or just do a quick casual trip here and there, I'm not looking to sink a bunch of money into something, I think it's functional. It could really fulfill that purpose. If you're looking for a completely problem-free, like I said, I don't know that this is the right coach for you. But if you're handy, if you're a fix-it and flip-it type person, or if you just like making something your own, I could see this being a nice little TLC special right here. Give us a call, let us know what you think, leave me a couple comments. I'll leave you a link in the video description where you can check the pricing and availability. And if you appreciate the way that we don't just try to like sucker you in on something and then find out after you get here from hours and hours away that it's got problems, even if this isn't the right one for you, hit that subscribe button. That way you know when the right one does come through, you can take us at face value. We're gonna shoot you straight on that kind of stuff. We're family owned and operated. We're not a multi-store national chain or anything. Our word and our integrity is the way that we continue to succeed in this crazy, crazy world in business. So when you're ready, we're ready. And until then, stay tuned and let me know what you think of stuff. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and have an A1 day, everyone.